Welcome to the Wired for Success podcast, your show for ambitious, mission-driven entrepreneurs who understand that there's more to entrepreneurship than finding the latest flash-in-the-pan strategies, who understand that in order to build your empire, you need a solid foundation. I wholeheartedly believe that entrepreneurship is the biggest self-development journey you can be on, and it's my mission to help you make that journey easier. In this show, I bring together the very best from science, self-development, and entrepreneurship to set you up for sustainable success. Hi, I'm Claudia Garbutt, the scientist and mindset coach behind this show, and you're listening to the Wired for Success podcast. Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Wired for Success podcast. Today, I'm excited to talk to expert marketer and business coach Jessica Laverde, who helps coaches and course creators launch high-ticket group programs and enroll consistent clients. She has grown her own online coaching business to multiple six figures in less than 6 months, and she's passionate about helping other women launch, fill, and scale their own coaching programs too. And Jessica is now on a mission to empower at least 100 women to build their own self-made empires so that they can live life on their own terms. And I'm super excited to support her on her mission. Jessica and I have known each other for a while now, and I really admire her down-to-earth and heart-centered approach to building an online business. And that's why I've invited her today to share her marketing wisdom and her best launch strategy tips with you. So welcome, Jessica, and thank you so much for being on my show today.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. As always, it's a pleasure when we get to connect and talk. So I'm excited.
Always. So I know you have a background in education and you used to be a classroom teacher. So would you mind telling our listeners what made you change career path? Would you say it was like some defining moment in your life that suddenly changed everything, or was it more of a gradual change?
It was interesting. I would have to say a little bit of both, right? So I started off with in the classroom, loved it, loved teaching and being with the kids and building those relationships. And then I met my husband, we got married, we had a kid, and during that process, kind of realized I didn't want to go back in the classroom. I wanted to be able to stay home. And so I dipped my foot into entrepreneurship 12 years ago. And I know, right? And back then, it was through what was affiliate marketing. And there were a bunch of freebie sites. And you could sign up and get points. And then when you got so many people to sign up under you, they gave you cash.
Right.
And it was through like trials, like Netflix trials, or like try this printer ink. And I was like, dude, I can do this all day long. Right. And I made some money at it. Not a lot of money, but some money. And I was like, okay, there's got to be an easier way. And so then we kind of dabbled into network marketing and direct marketing. And I was like, there's no way I'm ever gonna like sell my friends. And I realized that I could make way more money taking the skills I learned and turning it into something else. So I built an agency, and in the process of building an agency, learned lots of marketing, lots of sales, lots of skills that I then turned into coaching other women how to build their empires. And I've done it all while homeschooling and raising 3 girls. So gradual, but everything at once, right?
It's a journey.
It was a journey,
right? So for someone like me who doesn't enjoy the marketing side of the business too much, can you explain what made you made you fall in love with marketing? That's what I was trying to say.
What made me fall in love with marketing? I don't know. I think it just kind of fell in my lap. So, like when I said we started the network marketing business, one of the things we got to do with the one that we bought into was we had some really great, still in the marketplace entrepreneurs today who were teaching marketing. Okay. And so, they're big names in the industry today. And they were teaching you how to do video marketing and teaching you how to do attraction marketing and teaching you how to do all this stuff. And I was like, this is pretty cool. I bet it would work for anything.
Yeah.
And so I was like, let's just test it and see. And sure enough, it did. And I like numbers and data. So I like to be able to go and see what's working and not working and tweak and test and everything else, right? An ex-science teacher, you like the experiments, right?
Exactly.
But then I realized I still missed teaching. And so now I get to combine the best of both worlds, teaching with marketing, right?
Yeah, that's awesome. And I like that it's all about building real relationships, if you want, right?
Yeah.
That's the marketing side. When it's done right, marketing is about building relationships, and while teaching is always about relationships as well.
Correct.
So that brings it together nicely. So when you look at the things that new entrepreneurs do, or what would you say are the biggest mistakes that you see new coaches make that cost them a lot of time, money, and energy? So many.
I hate to be like, oh, but yeah. Honestly, you can build the business of your dreams focusing on one offer, meaning a program or a course. You don't need this stack of offers, right? You can have this one thing that you put out to market, and you can have one audience for that, and one way of generating leads that will bring you sales and actually build a business. Like, I just see too many entrepreneurs and coaches and everything else going down every path. They want to do the webinar. They want to do a challenge. They want to do a VSL. They want to do paid ads. They want to do this. And it's too many different directions all the time. Like, just keep it simple. Simplify, get it verified. Then you can figure out how to systemize, how to automate, how to still have a personal connection when you automate. But in the very beginning, it's keep it simple. It's pick one thing, pick one person, and one way to get people in, and you'll hit your goal.
Yeah, that's a great tip, because the overwhelm phase in the beginning is probably something that gets a lot of people to just give up, right? They are trying all the things and it's just too much, and they don't know what to do. So this leads me to the next question that I wanted to ask you, because
I got one more for them on the other one, if
yeah,
I can.
Sure.
Yeah. It's take action. There are too many beginning entrepreneurs who are like, I need to read, I need to watch, I need to consume, versus consuming and doing. And one of the what I tell the girls in the program is action leads to clarity.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then that leads to more action, which leads to more clarity, and it becomes this nice big circle. So take massive imperfect action. It doesn't have to be beautiful. You don't need all the pieces. You just need the right pieces in place at the right time.
Yeah. And I see that a lot when it gets to a point where where learning becomes procrastination, because people just stay in this constant learning cycle and they never implement, right?
Correct.
And that's where they get stuck. But going back to keeping it simple. So what I see, or what I hear a lot when people talk about online marketing, is that classic ascension model that everyone teaches out there, where they teach that new entrepreneurs, they have to start with this tiny small offer, like create this $7 ebook or something, and then they can ascend their audience to buy maybe the next level thing that could be $97 something webinar, workshop, whatever it is, and just take it from there. What are your thoughts on that?
So I, believe one offer. You need like one really good signature offer out there, and you can hit your dreams, right? I'm a big believer in keeping it simple. So I always say that you should have this one offer that you iron all the kinks out. You take it and you scale it and scale it and scale it till it can't be scaled anymore. When we talk about scaling, different entrepreneurs, which is what you're talking about, talk about an ascension model
Mm-hmm.
where you go horizontally, you go across, and you just keep adding and adding and adding. I'm a really big believer in you go vertical first, meaning that you keep working out the kinks in the one offer you have,
Mm-hmm.
so that you keep getting all the money back in, and you get to make more impact, and you get to have more freedom, and you get to really iron that out. And then once that's ironed out, you can take that one offer and you can build subsets
Mm-hmm.
horizontally off that without any extra work.
Right.
It's like one of those things of like, you can just add something extra for the next level, or take something away for a lower level. And you don't have to do anything beyond what you've already done, building that one signature offer. So I think depending on your goals and where you want to go, you should definitely consider multiple offers down the road, like after one has been scaled vertically multiple times. And when again, releasing that same offer again and again and again and again, and getting the kinks worked out of it before you ever think about adding something else in. And when you do that right, you can build the business of your dreams without ever needing another one. It is truly one offer.
That is true. But that said, I mean, it's probably more difficult to do it that way when you start out with a $7 ebook, because then you have to work your butt off to make it happen, right?
And I'm a big believer, like, I'm not a big fan of courses. Like, there's like an 85% drop-off rate from people who sign up for a course and complete it. So if our whole vision is to become an entrepreneur to make an impact, or to grow this person that we want to help, we've got to do it in a way that's going to generate some kind of like result for them. And a $7 ebook is not necessarily a result for someone. I mean, it might be the end all be all solution, but like you just said, to make $7,000, you got to sell 1,000 of them. Versus something that's a little more higher ticket, where it's the same amount of energy, whether it's 7 or 3,000 or 3,500 or whatever, in my opinion. So it makes way more sense to go after a higher ticket type item and really give your audience a true transformation.
Yeah, that's what I believe too, because when you start with a high ticket, it brings in the money and helps you build out the other steps after that. Otherwise, you're just spinning your wheels, and you're never getting to that place where you have enough time and energy to actually create that next level offer. So again, can you tell us a little bit more about your business model, and can you lay out the strategies that you're using to help your clients build a more sustainable coaching business? So how is your approach different?
Yeah, so let's see if I can break that down, because we all know I like to complicate things sometimes, right? I'm really teaching in our program one really solid signature offer, right? That is your like empire building offer. And I teach our women in our program that it should be a group program, that they should do some type of group setting, because I know that in the group, the results are going to be better, right? I know that when you design a group program that has accountability, and it has accessibility to the coach, and it has learning modules and live training sessions and hot seats and Q&As and mastermind sessions, that's where clients get their breakthrough. It's really funny, because this week in the accelerator, we were having a conversation and we were talking about, no client's really the same. And then someone had asked a question. I was like, well, how about one of the other ladies answer it? Because I've said it a lot and you're all telling me what I've said, but maybe a different perspective will help. And sure enough, so one of the girls said, I'll do it. And, they gave the answer, and like that made it clear. Perceptions and someone being able to discern information the way they processed it can help someone else understand. And you get that in a group setting.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
We teach our clients to launch imperfectly.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I want them to have an organic strategy that aligns with them and sits well, that is constantly generating leads for them. But then we're going to validate with a launch. And we validate with a launch via a challenge because it is the most easiest, less risk way to launch.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that, because the one problem that I see most new coaches or entrepreneurs struggle with is finding this continuous stream of the ideal clients who are just ready to invest in their programs. And I think we've all been in those situations where we've spent some time on Facebook or Instagram and we got all those friend requests. And as soon as we accepted them, basically in the next second, we got this spammy message where they just, put their offer out there and they didn't even care about whether we needed what they were putting out there or not. So there has to be a better way, right? So can you talk a little bit about your challenge approach and how that all works and how you're helping your clients with that?
Yeah, so it's funny because we just role played like conversations today and about like really leading out of a place of value, right? And how important that is. The way that we're doing this is we are teaching, kind of an organic lead generation strategy where they're able, the people in the program, myself included, are able to go generate leads into our challenges. And our challenges are housed in our groups. And so once we get people in our group, we run our 5-day challenge. And I'm a firm believer in running a 5-day challenge so that they can see what it's like to work with you and your team. I deliver some of our best stuff in our 5-day challenges. I want them to really experience life with us. And, there are people who go through our challenges multiple times. They go through 2 or 3 or 4 times before they're ever ready to sign up. But every time, they take something new because they're in a different place in their journey.
Yeah.
Right. There are girls in our program who come to every challenge and walk back into the next session are like, you should have been there. There's this new nugget that's been there the whole time, but to them it's new because they're at a new part in their journey. Yeah. And they're coming at it with new glasses. Right.
Absolutely.
So I'm a firm believer that to be sustainable, you have got to have a method that generates leads consistently. You do not want to live in a launch cycle where you're constantly having to launch and bring people into your program in the masses. That's the whole idea of a launch, is to bring a mass full of people in at one time, versus a system where you can have leads coming in all the time throughout the month. And that, to me, is way more sustainable than, cutting out 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks of your life to launch to get this mass of people in. And then you're like, I need a break. Right. So, but we love the challenge because it's a really great way to validate your offer. And it's a really great way to build a human connection when you go to it from a place of, this is what it's like to work with our team. Let's talk. Let's help you. Let's guide you. I firmly believe in leading from value. And the best way to do that is by actually caring about the person on the other side.
Awesome. Yeah, by really giving them this experience. Now, I know that you're about to launch one of those challenges soon, and it's called the Cold to Soul Challenge, right? And as you said, it's a 5-day challenge. Now, I would love to hear a little bit more about that. And what are you going to teach during that challenge?
Sure. So the Cold to Soul Challenge is actually designed so that you can understand the proven strategy that we use to grow and monetize your audience in just 5 easy steps. Right? I know, it's exciting. And so during the 5 days, it kicks off November 9th and at 1 p.m. Eastern time. And during our 5 days, we are going to cover really honing in on your audience, what the offer is you're giving and the messaging behind that. The messaging is so important. And those three pieces have to come together the right way in order to have success, right? Your promise, like what is the promise of this lead generation method? Like what are you, so really we teach challenges. And so what's the promise of your challenge? What is your audience going to get at the end? And how do you come up with a name for this challenge? How do you actually build one out? What content goes into it? We're going to cover how you find your people and put them into your challenge and get them in there without ads, even better, right? And then how you structure your days and your lessons and how you move into the sell. So that, like, that's the thing. What's really nice about it and why I love teaching it is because when you're trying to learn how to sell and when you're trying to learn if your audience and offer and message is right, and there's all these components that go together, they all have to work.
Yeah.
And the challenge takes things out, like the whole like hard sales call, the challenge takes that out. That's not needed, right? And so we're going to walk you through that whole process so that you will know exactly what you need to run a challenge and have the components.
That's amazing. Yeah. So you're really taking them through the exact process that you're using to run your challenges and fill your program. This is truly amazing. So where can people sign up for that challenge?
Absolutely. So there is, let me pull it up because I do not have that in front of me, shockingly enough. You know, it might be easier to probably drop it because it's probably a long URL. It's probably easier to drop it maybe in the show notes by chance, if that works. But it is, it's really long. It's probably
I will put it in the show notes.
Yeah, it's probably easier. I was like, I thought I had got rid of like the extra at the end, and no, it's still there. So
no worries. I will put it in the show notes for everyone who wants to sign up. So if what Jessica has just shared today resonates with you, I can only encourage you to join this free challenge, because I know that Jessica has a ton of value to share during those challenges. So thank you so much, Jessica, for this wonderful interview. And I think that it's really valuable for our listeners, and I hope they will take you up on this offer. So I really appreciate it. And I'm wishing you all the best for this upcoming challenge, and talk to you soon.
Thank you so much. It's been a joy being here. I appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to the Wired for Success podcast. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, please take a sec to rate and review my show. It would mean the world to me, because you'd help me reach more entrepreneurs like yourself who would love this show. If you'd like to learn more about creating a widely successful business without sacrificing your health, relationships, or sanity, make sure to stick around and subscribe so you don't miss out on any future episodes. And why don't you help me spread the word and share this show with your friends? I'd really appreciate it, and I'm sure your friends will too. Want to continue this conversation, build real relationships, and join a community of like-minded entrepreneurs? Come join my free Facebook community for visionary entrepreneurs. I would love to see you there. In the meantime, if you haven't done so already, grab my free brain priming audio file for entrepreneurs and start priming your brain for success in less than 5 minutes each morning. Curious? You can learn more about how this works and download the audio file at www.wiredforsuccess.solutions. Until next time, bye!